Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights. All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. And as always, we love to promote events that help a lot of people out here in the area. And of course, we have the Bryant O'Neill Foundation, Viva la Fiesta. We're going to talk about that in a second. There you see the billboard up right now. Our guest today, Casey Fake DeRoche with the Bryant O'Neill Foundation, and Heather Piku, who's the Bryant O'Neill Foundation also. Good to see you all. How are y'all today?
Good to see you. Thank you for having
us.
us.
All smiles. That means y'all are doing well and things are going good. And this is such a great cause. You know, when you can take something that happens in your life that sort of throws you for a loop and you can turn it around for the good of the masses, it sort of puts things in perspective and helps a lot of people move on. And I think that's what y'all been able to do. So kudos to y'all. Y'all done well with that. So, Casey, let's talk with you about the programs and the foundation itself and where y'all have sort of morphed to.
Sure. We came together after losing Bryant, our brother, to suicide about 5 years ago. And we formed this foundation with the goal to fund suicide awareness and prevention programs into our local schools, just to create a safe, open space and break these stigmas associated with suicide. And in just 4 short years, we've brought about 6 different programs to schools, Vanderbilt, E.D. White, Central Catholic, St. Francis, St. Gregory, St. Bernadette, and even at Nicholls State University. We've implemented these programs. We've had Emma Benoit, who told her story of a suicide attempt and left her paralyzed, and she uses her experience to help others find hope and stay alive. She was a local teenager from Prairieville, Louisiana. Then we had Rachel's Challenge that started after the Columbine shooting in Colorado, and they came with a live assembly and training that taught changing the school culture to a very positive with lessons on youth violence, self-harm, and bullying. Then we had Jason Everett, who was a Catholic author and speaker who travels all over the world. He delivered a message on God's plan for human sexuality and practicing virtue with these teens that have so many struggles nowadays. We also found the program Teen Truth. We had Caleb Campbell, who was a West Point graduate, a former Army officer, and an ex-NFL player. And he shared his story of rejection, depression, and suicidal thoughts, and how he turned his internal struggle of hiding his truth around and overcame it and finding his voice. And then we had J.C. Poole, who is the founder of Teen Truth, and he actually did a staff development training with our whole diocese educators on their Diocesan Educators Day. He got to reach over 400 of our diocese employees, and he talked about building school culture, improving resiliency in our students, and fostering campus relationships. And then just last week, we had Daryl Bellamy Jr. with Fearless Inside from North Carolina, and he had a very high energy presentation, and he taught the students tools on tracing their fears, embracing them, and then giving themselves grace, rethinking fear and using it as a tool for progress, and using fear not as a barrier, but an opportunity for growth. So these speakers are coming from all over. We're getting great feedback. We always ask for feedback from the faculty and students. And the need for these types of assemblies are shown in the positive comments and the want for more. We were told last week by the counselors that our foundation is setting a high bar, and the students are really getting excited when we bring these programs.
But the high bar is good.
Yes.
It needs to be, because we lost a couple of people my senior year to suicide, and everybody in the class was going, I never knew.
Right.
And I'll tell you a story coming out the break, but it sort of shaped my life on what I do forward. And I'm sure it's shaped all of y'all lives on what you do forward. But Heather, talk about the event.
Yes. So these things cannot happen with the support, without our community support, which leads us to our next event, Rock Another Day, Viva la Fiesta, Long Live the Party. We're so excited about this year's event. We're going to have top chefs from our community. We'll be preparing delicious treats. We're going to have Chef Brandon LeBlanc featuring delicious seafood dishes from the Coca Marina. We're going to have Chefs Dominique Malbrew Shakesnider and Chefs Lars Curry will be creating signature Mexican-influenced small plates. Ember Kitchen will also be creating a new item for tonight, or that night. La Carreta is going to have quite a few margaritas with one exclusive for our fiesta. And Houma's own and well-known Baked by Brianna will be creating a signature cheesecake flavor for our fiesta.
That's an unbelievable lineup.
Yes.
Wow. I think you topped it off with the margarita. Right?
Amen.
This is cool stuff. And there you see it, folks. We're gonna go into the break with this one. We'll come out and talk some more. But bring it up one more time, Jay. Let people take a picture of it with their phone. If you're at home, I'm giving you a little time to pull your phone out, take a picture. And April 4th, 2025, 6:30 to 11 p.m. at the Aphrodite Den. And that's the Bryant O'Neill Foundation. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Very important event for a great, great cause. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. All right, we're back. We're talking about big event for the Bryant O'Neill Foundation, and it's a Viva La Fiesta, which will be coming up. So try to be a part of it because it really is a great event for a great cause. And Casey and Heather, I was telling y'all during the break that, I saw your brother a week before, and he was just so complimentary of everybody like he always was. And it sort of falls in line with people like in our high school who we talk to every day and we just don't see. They're so good at hiding their emotion and coming out and being positive, but inside obviously there's turmoil and struggle. But what y'all are doing and are passionate about, I mean, it's just so good. Because look, even today, if I feel like somebody's in trouble, even one of my best friends or whatever, I'll pick up the phone. It may be unorthodox, but I say, and are you thinking about taking your own life? And they pause.
Yes.
And when they pause, I know they're thinking about it. So you're working from there, but I guess there's different ways to do it, but the whole idea is to make them talk and make them relate it back to you, right?
And not feel alone.
Right.
A big message with all of these programs and speakers is just creating a safe space and letting all these kids realize they're not alone. So many of these kids have things in common. When they stand up and participate, we're always blown away. And then they look around and realize, wait, you feel like that? I'm not crazy for feeling it. There's something I can do. There's somebody I can reach out to.
And it could be so simple. Our senior year in class, I was talking with a classmate, and I could tell he was struggling. So after class, I stayed. I remember I had football practice, but I waited. And he talked to me, just said, man, I said, you look down. He says, I just feel like nobody likes me. And so I talked to him for a long time, and I thought I'd reached him. Unfortunately, that weekend, he took his own life. But the signs are there sometimes. They're obvious or they're not obvious.
Exactly.
And I don't know there's a middle ground, either obvious or they're not obvious. But so I urge people to get involved because what y'all are doing is so tremendously important and admirable because you're coming from the heart. Y'all are, for sure. And have you found that people come up and tell you their stories about how you were able to let me come forward. I mean,
yes.
You know, they always say if you save one life, but I think y'all are saving many lives.
Well, it's just been wonderful to see that we're not alone. Because when it happens, you don't even know where to begin. Yeah. So we do, now that people associate us and are getting to know about this foundation, they do reach out. We do have lots of messages and phone calls and conversations that I guess people feel safe to talk to about now. We hosted a mass at St. Bernadette with Father Andre Melanson.
Great guy.
And that was a wonderful experience just to give back to the community, to honor anyone that was lost to suicide, to let the loved ones that are left behind have somebody to talk to and know that you're not alone and that we can get through this together.
You know, we had a party up there for the 7th graders one time upstairs at HTV. And I noticed a group of guys, they kept walking away from this one guy he was a misfit, let's be honest. But they kept walking. Every time he'd walk up to join the group, they'd walk to another section. So I pulled them together and said, why are y'all walking away from that young guy? Well, he really doesn't fit in. I said, make him fit in. Bring him in, adopt him, teach him some things. And I said, because y'all going to find out years later, y'all all don't fit in. So make him fit in. And
Yes.
they made him fit in. And I think he's still with them today.
Oh,
That's
But they
amazing.
brought him into the fold.
Yeah.
And now he's part of the fold.
right.
So you don't have to be the same or yoked the same to bring somebody in. And I think that's probably part of what y'all speakers bring up and everything else. Look for that person who's
Yeah.
struggling and bring them in.
Right. And we just want to say thank you to all of our community support. We are just blown away with the support from our community right away. We couldn't do any of this without their support.
And this is so important, what y'all doing. And, I know y'all hear it, but y'all really have to hear it from a deep level. What y'all are bringing to the community it's just so important because especially in today's stresses,
Yes.
Right.
I would hate to be growing up today.
It's a
I
totally
really would.
different world.
With cell
It is.
phones,
We were in
cell phones and, catching people in position and posting it all over.
Social media,
And it just-
yes.
I imagine it is just unbelievable. But in the younger generation, when do y'all start talking to the younger generation? What
The
age?
youngest class they've wanted to do is 5th grade. So for the elementary schools, it seems like 5th through 7th grade is a good age to get into. And then our high schools here are usually all 8th through 12th grade. But they haven't done anything younger than 5th graders so far.
But this event we're going
Yes.
to, you get to smile a little bit.
Yes.
You get to have fun. Who's playing?
So we're going to have the Funky Monkeys from New Orleans, an 11-piece show-stopping band,
They're
high
good.
energy.
They're really
It's
good.
going to be great.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll have a silent auction. We'll have a live auction. We're going to have some other surprises throughout the night. So it's going to be a really, really great time.
Are y'all going to sing?
No.
No, sir.
Why not?
Promise we will not.
I made Dr. Dick in the last segment. He's going to come up and sing a Billy Joel song. He
Yes.
said, but I don't know the words. I said, don't worry, we got him.
Yeah, we'll leave the singing to the Funky Monkeys.
We will.
We'll tell you where to get the tickets.
Yes.
All right, so where can you get the ticket?
So if you go to the Rock Another Day Facebook page, it's on Eventbrite. It will lead you straight to Eventbrite. You can purchase a ticket for $75. There also is a VIP sponsor table for 8 that will give you exclusive food and alcohol table service. You get Rock Another Day merchandise, only available to you, high-end various tequila flights, and your business will be promoted as sponsors on all of our social media platforms and mentioned at the event.
All right, well, Casey and Heather, thank y'all so much for what y'all doing. Great call. I know tragedy spurred it on, but y'all have taken the ball and run with it. Commend y'all. Y'all doing a great job. And see y'all on the 4th and let the band play till their heart's content.
Let's do
and
it.
Get y'all up there to sing. There we go. All right, we'll take a
Thank
short
you.
break. We'll
Thank
be
you.
back with a lot more. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.